Hi everyone. I wanted to quickly introduce a very exciting project which we've been working on at Footprint Digital over the past few months or so. This is a proprietary in-house tool which we've codenamed Response RAIdar. Needless to say, there's been a massive increase in the usage of AI assistants, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, those kind of platforms. You'll all probably be aware that Google's integrating AI into search with AI overviews, AI mode. So tracking visibility of a brand within these kind of platforms has become increasingly important and will be even more important over the next year, 2 years, and potentially beyond that as well. So one of the questions we're being asked on a regular basis from our clients is how is our brand represented or perceived by these kind of AI platforms? And unfortunately, all of these systems, at the moment at least, aren't really giving us any data. Google give you a little bit of data in Search Console, but it's really hard to find where that data actually sits. It's all amalgamated into the data that's already there. ChatGPT, those kind of systems aren't really giving you any information in terms of the prompts that people are putting into their systems, how your brand is portrayed, how many times your brand is cited, and that kind of information, which makes it a real challenge for brands to understand, especially with the likes of ChatGPT, how users are searching for them, how their brand is portrayed or represented alongside their competitors, and so on and so forth. So this is something that's been coming up frequently at Footprint Digital. A lot of clients asking us, and obviously it's a bit of an industry-wide issue or problem concern at the moment. So we've developed Response RAIdar as a system to allow us to track and understand on scale visibility within a lot of these popular kind of AI platforms. So in terms of what the system does, it basically automates a lot of the stuff which as a brand or a business you might be doing manually at the moment. So whereas you might go to ChatGPT and you might put a prompt in that you think your customers are going to search for and look at the response that you get from ChatGPT to see if your brand is there, and if it is, what kind of light your brand is presented in. We can do that on scale. So Response RAIdar allows us to automate queries across all of these assistants on a huge scale. You know, we can do hundreds of thousands of these prompts. We can scrape and log all the responses and analyze those responses over time to see how they differ, how your brand's presented, where your competitors are presented, all that kind of thing that you might do manually. We can extract citation sources, so we can understand which sources led to the prompt or which sources were cited in the response. We can do all kinds of other funky stuff which we're working on, entity analysis, so we can pull out other known named entities or brands, locations which might be referenced in responses. But the key thing is that we can track these responses over time and start providing a little bit of insight into how your brand is represented in these systems. So I'm going to very quickly show you the dashboard as it stands. Now this is phase one. This is going to change. We've just lined up a whole heap of changes with our dev team, so lots in the pipeline for this. This is very much phase one. But what you can start to see, even from this alone over a very short period of time that we've tracked this, is the brand dimensions over time. So we can start to chart and graph how our brand, in this case Footprint Digital, is represented against some of our key competitors or known competitors in our space. And we can visualize that so we can see how that changes over time. In this particular case, we've got some of the newest responses down here. So these are really dummy prompts, so take these with a pinch of salt. But for who are Footprint Digital as a prompt within all of these different platforms, we can see when we are mentioned or when we weren't. We can see the responses and the citations or the links that have been included in these responses. That's obviously a very brand heavy one, but if we look at something like someone's looking for an SEO agency, we can start to see where we're mentioned and where we're not. So in this case, it's AI overviews, Footprint Digital weren't mentioned at all, and you can start to drill into potentially the reasons why. In this case, from that one, there was no AI overview, but we can start to really drill into some of this information. As I said, this is very much phase one of this interface and will be developed rapidly over the next couple of weeks. So we've got some other reports in here, competitors, domains, citations and assistants. There's a lot the system can do, and we're really excited to see where this goes. So stay tuned.